Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Katie Asco from Dublin, Ireland, and these are your latest headlines from around the world. Archbishop Cordileone of San Francisco in the US has stressed the need for a hard and honest look at some painful realities in the city. In the wake of the stabbing of two Asian women in downtown San Francisco on Tuesday, May 4th, the Archbishop exhorted local Catholics to engage in prayer, adoration and fasting for an end to violence and hatred. In a statement, he deplores the deteriorating law and order in the city and underscores the need to look at new and creative ideas. He urges city residents to stop hating one another and instead to recognise in the other a brother or sister made in the image and likeness of God. The two victims of the recent stabbings were rushed to hospital. One needed surgery. Also in the US state of California, police have arrested a 57-year-old man who is alleged to have set fire to the historic San Gabriel Mission Church last year. Law enforcement officials said John David Corey was charged with arson on Tuesday, May 4th, adding that he has two previous fire-related convictions. On July 11, 2020, a fire broke out on the 249-year-old adobe and wood structure and parts of the roof caved in. It took 80 firefighters more than 2 hours to quench the flames. Although the roof was destroyed, the altar, bell tower and religious artefacts suffered little damage. A report released by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the US on Wednesday, May 5th, claims that the fertility rate in the country dipped to a record low last year. Data says the total fertility rate slipped to 1.64 in 2020, the lowest record since fertility tracking started in the 1930s. The total number of births in the US in 2020, 3.6 million, is also the lowest since 1979. Experts like Kenneth Johnson, a senior demographer at the University of New Hampshire, say that the birth rates have never recovered from the Great Recession. The report also says the number of births dipped last year among women of all age groups except those in their early teens and late 40s. As the Church observes the year of Saint Joseph, the Courage International Apostolate, which provides pastoral and prayer support to people experiencing same-sex attraction, will be focusing its upcoming annual conference on the theme Saint Joseph, Model of Courageous Love. The Apostolate's 34th annual conference will be held from July 15th to 18th at the Benedictine College in Kansas in the US. During the event, there will be talks on a variety of subjects such as pastoral ministry, spirituality, and methods to support family members and loved ones experiencing same-sex attraction. Speakers include Dr. Greg Bottaro of the Catholic Psych Institute, Father Ricardo Pineda of the Fathers of Mercy, and Mary Rice Hassan, Director of the Catholic Women's Forum. The papal visit to Iraq has given hope and courage to Christians in the country to begin life anew. Now the Chaldean Church is conducting a pilgrimage to Ur, the birthplace of biblical patriarch Abraham, along with the representatives of various Christian churches on Saturday, May 8th. The Syriac Catholic Patriarch and other church dignitaries will take part in the pilgrimage to Ur with the hope of promoting the city as a pilgrimage site. The Holy Father visited the war-ravaged country of Iraq from March 5th to 8th, carrying a message of reconciliation, hope and peace. The increasing attacks on Christians in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa has prompted a Catholic bishop to boldly point out the rampant Islamisation of the country. Speaking to the pontifical charity Aid to the Church in Need, Bishop of Butembo-Beni said more mosques are springing up across the Central African nation. The prelate said those who persecute Christians have a grand scheme to Islamize or expel the local population. The bishop said when Islamist outfits kidnap Christians, they are given the choice of either conversion or death. According to the Episcopal Conference, more than 6,000 people have fallen victims to Islamist violence in Beni since 2013, and there are 3 million internally displaced people. The Bishop of the Diocese of Maiduguri in northern Nigeria, which is bearing the brunt of Islamist terrorist attacks, has urged believers to pray the rosary for an end to extremism. In a video message, the bishop has said, quote, "Through fervid prayer and devotion to Our Lady, the enemy will certainly be defeated." Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram has killed thousands of Christians in Nigeria and displaced millions in their attempt to eliminate Western influences and impose strict Islamic law over the past few years. It is also reported that Islamic Fulani herdsmen have increased their attacks on Christians. The Catholic bishops of Texas in the US have voiced their opposition against a bill which would legalize the possession of handguns by some adults without a permit. The bill, which will be voted by the state Senate next week, would legalize the possession of handguns to Texas residents if they are 21 years old and are not, quote, "otherwise prohibited by state or federal law from possessing the firearm." This would replace the current state law, which mandates licenses to carry handguns. In a letter signed by the ordinaries of the state's 15 dioceses, the bishop said that the law would advance a culture of violence, expressing their shock at the, quote, "aggressive calls for the unfettered presence of weapons carried in public places." The bishops recalled the recent tragic shootings in Georgia, Colorado, and Texas. However, Governor Greg Abbott said in a recent radio interview that, quote, "we should have constitutional carry in Texas. This is something that 20 other states have already adopted, and it's time for Texas to adopt it too." Those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow and visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.